Okay, let's just dive right into it. Ever feel like you're doing all the things, checking all the boxes, hitting all the milestones, but for some reason, you're just off? Like you're grinding through life, but inside you're kind of just, what, stuck?
Yeah, it's like being on autopilot. You're following this path that's supposed to guarantee happiness, school, job, relationships, all the stuff society says you need, but somehow it just doesn't.
Exactly. And I mean, it's so easy to think, oh, maybe I'm doing something wrong, right? But honestly, it's more like the blueprint we're following, the one we're told will make us happy, might actually be the problem.
Totally. And it's not just regular people who feel this way. Even those you'd think have it all together, celebrities, CEOs, they talk about feeling empty despite all their success.
Yes, I can't tell you how many stories I've read where these super accomplished people, like A-list celebs, admit they wake up super anxious. I mean, they've got the fame, the money, the awards. So if they feel this way, what does that say?
It says the whole idea of success equals happiness is flawed. It's almost like there's this expectation to reach a certain point in life and just feel complete. But that sweet spot doesn't really exist, does it?
Yeah, and honestly, I feel this on such a personal level. Like when I got to college, I had this perfect little plan for myself. Big dreams, great grades, all that. But by sophomore year, I just started feeling so disconnected,
Disconnected, like from yourself?
Yes, exactly. It was like I wasn't even sure who I was outside of this plan I'd mapped out. I mean, I was achieving stuff, sure, but I didn't really feel like me, just like some robot following a script.
You're not alone there. I think so many people drift into that zone without even realizing it. You're chasing this dream, but it's not actually yours. It's like the world's dream for you.
Oof, yeah. And it's exhausting, like trying to be everything you're supposed to be. But deep down, you know something's off. And what do you even do with that feeling?
I'd say first you have to face it. Start realizing that this isn't some personal failure. It's more like the system itself sets us up to feel this way.
Yes? Okay, I love that. So, feeling stuck isn't just in your head. It's a sign that the life you're building might not be the life you actually want.
Exactly, and it's scary to admit that, but it's also the first step to figuring out what you really want, outside all the noise society throws at us.
All right, so speaking of that feeling of not really being in sync with what actually makes us happy, let's talk about how that shows up in our everyday lives, like on social media. We've all done it. Posted something, obsessively checked for likes or comments, or maybe waited for someone to text back and felt like crushed when they didn't. It's almost embarrassing to admit, isn't it?
Yeah, I've been there. And for so long, I tied my confidence to stuff like that, especially when I started learning English. I used to depend on hearing great job or, other compliments to feel like I was improving. It was this weird cycle.
Exactly. You keep chasing those little high moments like, okay, if I get enough likes or enough pats on the back, I'll finally feel good. But it never lasts. You're back in the loop, waiting for the next hit.
Right. And the thing is, it's not just about social media or compliments. We distract ourselves constantly. Binge watching shows, endlessly scrolling TikTok, whatever we tell ourselves helps us unwind. But really, we're just avoiding something deeper.
Oh my gosh, yes. Like, how many times have I said, I'm decompressing when I've got Netflix on the TV, Instagram on my phone, and I'm Googling random stuff all at once. It's not decompressing, it's straight up avoidance.
Totally. Because when we're quiet, truly quiet, all the doubts and buried feelings bubble up. And that's uncomfortable. I avoided that for years, but to actually move forward, you've got to face it.
And that's where the magic is, right? Silence can feel terrifying because it shows you what you've been running from, but it's also where clarity comes from. That's when you finally hear your thoughts instead of drowning them out with noise.
And it's not easy. I mean, when I stopped relying on other people's feedback to decide my worth, I had to learn how to measure my own progress. Especially with language learning, that was a game changer. Shifting from, do they think I'm improving, to, am I improving for myself?
Yes, that's so powerful. And it's a lesson beyond language. It's about life. When you take back control of your self-worth, everything shifts. You stop letting others hold the remote to your confidence.
Exactly. You begin building your confidence from the inside out. External validation becomes a bonus, not the foundation.
And that shift, It's what lets you show up as your real self, unapologetically. Which brings us to a big one, waiting until you feel ready. It's probably the biggest lie we tell ourselves. I mean, seriously, how many amazing things have we put off because we didn't feel good enough yet, or because the timing wasn't absolutely perfect?
Oh, I've been guilty of that for sure. And you know what's funny? The times I did wait for the perfect moment, it never actually came. I just stayed stuck, overthinking everything.
Right? And I mean, it's not just us. So many people freeze thinking, if it's not flawless, I shouldn't even start. But here's what's wild. Perfection is, like, the most paralyzing myth ever. You can wait years and still feel unprepared.
Exactly. But imperfections, they're where growth happens. The mistakes, the awkwardness, they're all part of the process. I think hitting rock bottom is what really proves this. You ever notice how so many successful people credit their lowest moments for their biggest breakthroughs?
Oh gosh, totally. Like, let's talk about J.K. Rowling for a second. She was rejected by 12 publishers before Harry Potter became a thing. If she'd waited until she felt totally polished to pitch, we might never have known Hogwarts even existed.
Or even Steve Jobs. Remember when he got fired from Apple, the company he started? He said it was devastating at first, but looking back, it was the best thing that happened to him. He took that setback and turned it into something even bigger.
I think that's the key. Seeing failure or imperfection not as a dead end, but as the launch pad for something new. Honestly, one of my most embarrassing public speaking moments taught me exactly that.
Wait, what happened?
Oh, it was bad. I forgot the middle of my speech completely, like blanked out and just stood there staring at the room. It felt like actual forever. But you know what? Nobody remembers the silence. They remember how I laughed, owned it, and kept going. That's when I realized showing up, even imperfectly, matters way more than waiting till you're 100% ready.
That's such a good point, and honestly, it's so relatable. Like, people aren't looking for perfection. They connect with the honesty, the humanness of it. It's like, you tried, you learned, you grew, and that's what matters.
Right? And it's those little brave steps that actually start building confidence. Every time you take one, even if you trip a bit, you prove to yourself that you're capable. It stacks up, you know?
Totally, and I think confidence isn't about being fearless. I mean, no one's fearless. It's about showing up despite the fear, even if you feel shaky or unsure. That consistency, that's where real strength grows.
Exactly. So, I don't know. Maybe the takeaway here is you don't need to be perfect, and you don't need to wait until you feel ready. Just start. Even if it's messy, even if it doesn't go exactly how you planned. That's where the magic happens.
And those small, imperfect actions, they might just be the most powerful thing you ever do.
You know, the more I think about it, the more I realize how true it is. Those small, imperfect actions really do build something bigger. It's actually kind of empowering, isn't it?
Totally. I feel like we've peeled back layers of this whole happiness myth, you know? But breaking it down might help things stick a bit more, especially for our listeners learning English.
Yes, good point. Okay, so one big takeaway. It's that whole idea of success guarantees happiness, right? I mean, we've learned that's just not true.
Exactly, and the word guarantee here is important. It means a promise, like, if you do A, B, and C, you'll definitely get what you want. But the reality is, life doesn't come with guarantees.
So true. And another word we keep coming back to is validation. That's when you look for other people to approve of you, to say, hey, you're doing great. But depending on it too much can mess with your confidence.
Right. Like when I said external validation is like sand, it shifts. It's not stable. Honestly, one of my favorite metaphors we've used so far.
Same. It's such a perfect way to explain it. Okay, and then there's the idea of feeling stuck. It's not a failure. It's like an alarm clock, a signal that something in your life needs to change.
Yeah, and the word signal here is good to know. It's like a message or a clue that something's wrong, right? And we also talked about how distraction...
Oh my gosh, yes, distraction.
Yeah. Distraction is when you keep yourself busy with noise. Social media, binge watching, you name it. To avoid what you're really feeling.
Exactly. And let's not forget imperfect action. Man, that one hit hard for me. It's all about starting before you feel ready, knowing mistakes are part of the process.
Completely agree. And imperfect means it's not flawless. It's a little messy, but it still matters. In fact, it's the way we grow.
Yes, growth doesn't come from, playing it safe. It comes from showing up, even when it's scary, even when it's rough. That's where resilience starts.
Resilience, by the way, is a really good vocabulary word. It's your ability to bounce back from hard times, to keep going even when things get tough.
Okay, I feel like our listeners might need to hit rewind on that word because it's a game changer. Resilience. Say it with me.
Resilience.
Right? So powerful. And hey, one last reminder. Your self-worth, totally not up for debate. You're already enough, period.
Absolutely. Your worth isn't something you earn. It's something you already have. No conditions, no asterisks.
We've covered so much today. Resilience, imperfect action, and redefining success. Before we wrap up, we just want to say thank you. Like seriously, thank you for spending your time with us today.
Yeah, it's not lost on us how valuable your time is. And we're really grateful you chose to spend it here. It means a lot.
Totally. And hey, if this episode resonated with you, we'd love it if you shared it with a friend. You know, someone who might need to hear this right now.
Or who's just, stuck in their own happiness myth. Or maybe realizing it for the first time.
Exactly. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps us keep bringing these conversations to life.
Oh, and definitely check out the free study guide we've got linked in the description. Super helpful if you want to dive deeper into what we talked about today.
And last but not least, leave us a comment. What's one thing you're going to take action on after listening to this?
Yeah, seriously, we'd love to know. Your stories, your thoughts, they're what make this whole podcast thing so special for us.
Okay, that's all for today. But remember, you're enough. Always have been, always will be. Take that with you and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.
See you next time.